Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mark Sievers. I'm excited today to show you kind of a spring-inspired tablescape. When I hear the word tablescape, and maybe you feel the same, I think it can be a little intimidating. I think of like those big Downton Abbey eras of big silver gleaming candelabras and, you know, thousands of dollars of fruit and flowers, when actually the tablescape I'm going to show you all came from the grocery store, my favorite place. My grocery store flowers made fabulous. So behind you is the table. Let me give you a sneak peek in a minute, but let me just show you some quick and easy things you can do for this spring-inspired tablescape, and then I'll walk you over there. So the first thing to do, so I love hydrangeas. They are my favorite flower. I buy them cut, I buy them potted. And springtime is usually when potted hydrangeas are in the grocery stores. So this is just a beautiful hydrangea. It comes in, of course, that ugly plastic pot. And what I love to do is take these little thrift store baskets. I think this basket was 50 cents. And what I do is very carefully, I want to get the basket to kind of go around the pot. And I'm just being very careful to set the basket in. So this essentially becomes a cash pile. So if you don't have baskets, you can of course use porcelain planters, whatever you have. But 50 cents thrift shops, I love them. There's lots of other thrift shop finds over on the table too. The next thing is, how about a little nod to spring flowers? So this is just a little beaker of really pretty, delicate little chamomile flowers. And this is pretty by itself, but what makes this a statement, which you'll see on the table, is to do lots of them in these little glass jars or little bottles. I've picked them up, I probably have a couple hundred of them, and I get them all over the place, thrift shops, flea markets. I've seen them at Target, I've seen them in the dollar store. Just pick up a bunch of different varieties. None of them have to match, which is what's so charming about it. So we put that aside as well. And a little egg kind of inspiration here. So I have this little glass, little silver bowl, and I'm just gonna put some water in it. And I'm gonna show you why in a minute. I love, this is kind of a little extra for Easter. You could do a little Easter kind of inspired decor. You can add to this as well. But just put some, I have brown eggs to kind of ground everything. And then I found these beautiful Robin's blue eggs at the grocery store. I was just amazed. So I'm gonna put these in, just like so. Then I also found quail eggs at my grocery store, which is amazing. And this wasn't a fancy, you know, very fancy grocery store. This was just kind of your all-American grocery store that I found these at. But isn't that pretty? And the reason I put water in there is kind of, it needs a little softness. So I have some greens from the grocery store. You could use greens from your garden if you're lucky enough. You could use anything just to kind of soften everything and give it a little bit of an edge. Kind of soften the edge of that bowl. Just add a little green. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want it to be pretty. See, isn't that nice? So you'll see when we go over to the table that you could really set something like this. Easter doesn't have to be bunnies and chickens or chickies and all kinds of pastels. I mean, if that's your thing, great. I kind of like things a little bit more monochromatic. So let's take this over to this table and let's give you a little unveiling here. So, et voila, we have the beautiful table all set. So let me go get my other few things that we did together, and then I'll walk you through everything that I've done. So basket goes right there. So as you can see, these little bottles of chamomile flowers right down the center. The flowers themselves, that little chamomile flowers, I think I paid $8 total. And if you were to put those bunches in individual vases, you wouldn't get kind of the drama of kind of almost creating like a hedge here. And it really does kind of lengthen or kind of spread out the budget of your flowers too. And I have more potted herbs. These are little muscari in a little pot that I put in a little basket. I have more potted herbs. These are just some green herbs from the grocery store. I have some dried lavender just to kind of give a little height. And you know, as you can see, I'm going with that purples and kind of slight lavenders for spring. And look at these little tiny bottles. Aren't these adorable? I just love these so much. I love them. And those are great because you can put them all over kind of the table at each person's place setting. And then I just kept things really simple. I did just a woven placemat, linen napkin, a cream colored plate, and everyday cream color flatware. So if you wanted to add a little bit more pizzazz, so maybe this is for the daytime. If you wanted to kind of amp it up a little bit, you could use votive candle holders down the center, kind of mixed in with everything. You could also do, if you wanted to add a little bit more color, you can also, of course, add different plates. These are little bread plates. I actually use them for hors d'oeuvres, but you know, you can also add little bread plates in the center. You could greet guests with a little petite salad if you wanted to, or maybe, you know, just a little, or you could take them away before you actually have dinner. And it's just about having a little pop of color. I wanted to keep things pretty simple because there's a lot going on. So I thought that, for me, I thought this more monochromatic look was better. And then for stemware, it's actually not stemware. I just used really simple glassware. So I have a water glass and a wine glass. Truth be told, this will end up being my wine glass, the bigger one. I know that's shocking, but you know, this is something that you can really tailor to your colors, to the size of your table. You know, this is all scalable, which is really important because, you know, Ryan and I in Chicago, we just had a little apartment, and this table never saw the 2 leaves that were in it. It only always sat 6 or 4, really. But you could still do a smaller scale, and maybe you could even do this on your kitchen island if you don't have a counter, if you don't have a dining room table. But you could do something like this. These other elements, you could put them on the back of a sideboard. You could put them on an entry table. So it's just about evoking spring and making things kind of a little bit more precious than I normally would. So I hope you found inspiration from this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Head over to marcsievers.com for more tablescape ideas. And also check out my French omelet, your new house meal cookbook. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye.